This is the Bamboo Studio tutorial for slicing the hub for the fidget spinner. So in the fidget spinner, you recently wrapped text around the edge of it. And so we're going to show you how to set this up so that you can slice this and 3D print your hubs. So to begin with, I want to go back to Onshape. So I'll come back over here, go to Onshape, and I want to make sure that I export this part as a step file. So I'm going to export, and then as always, we want to give it a name, the year, the name, and then what the project is. So this is the Fidget Hub. Okay, so it should say the year, your name, and Fidget Hub. That's going to make life easier when we go to print so we know whose is whose. Okay, the format should be set for step file. All right, if you 3D printed the body of your fidget spinner, you heard my explanation previously how that gives us better quality. And then we want to download it. So I'm going to hit export. It takes Onshape a little bit to process and then send your download. So here it goes. There it is. So let's go to Bamboo, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to create a new window. So if I go to Prepare, first thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm using the Bamboo H2S. I'm using the textured build plate. I'm using a 0.4 millimeter nozzle in standard mode. Okay, and then in this case, I'm going to run this as a single color. So I'm going to hit minus over here and just use single PLA basic color. I have mine set for teal. You decide what you want, and then we'll try and see if we can't get it loaded when it comes time to print. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Import, and I'm going to import my step file. Command I, or on the Mac, or Control I on the Windows would allow you to get to the same place. So here's my Fidget Hub, and here it is on the build plate. All right. So you can see the text on there. You also see that it comes up kind of like a T or a mushroom. Okay. This will not print this way. What'll happen is when this goes to print out here on what's called a cantilever like this, where it's outstretched to one side, okay, that's just going to droop. Gravity's going to pull that down. So this needs supports. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go to my supports tab, and I'm going to enable supports, and I'm going to turn on normal auto-generated supports. Um, so now when I reslice my plate, you're going to see a whole bunch of extra material has been added underneath it. Okay, and that material is designed to break away, hopefully. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my layer height is at the finest detail quality possible. So I'm going to change this. We used 0.24 before. We're going to switch this to 0.08, which is very high quality print. It'll give us better rendering of your text, hopefully. And then we'll hit slice plate. And so if I close this slicing results, you can see, all right, um, you can see a few areas where we would otherwise have problem if this was really big, but because the text is so small and it's barely in there, I think we'll be fine. All right. So if I look at my slicing results, you'll see this whole thing's going to take about 16 minutes, which is fine. All right. You're going to want two of these. So how do we do that? Well, if we go back to prepare, I can select this and hit Control C and then Control V. When I do that, all I have to do is hit slice again. And now it's going to tell me that it takes 24 minutes to print two hubs. So just like before, what you're going to do is you're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Save Project As, and you're going to save it as the year, your name, and what it is. That'll save the 3MF file so you can attach it to the posting. All right. Once I have the 3MF file in Google Classroom, I can send it over to the printer, and you're ready to assemble. All right. Good luck.